Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody watching from here, there, and everywhere else. I am so excited to be here. Actually, we are for once in the same time zone. I mean, we're often in the same time zone, but not long enough to sit down and have a conversation.
True. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from currently the same time zone for me and Josh.
Yeah, I had the incredible privilege of being at JavaOne with you this week, down in Redwood Shores, unless
Yes.
I've
Yes.
forgotten. That was is the show still going on today? I think
It's
it's
still
today the
going
last day.
on. Today is the last day of JavaOne. It has been amazing. Thank you for helping us, for joining our show, and for just being with us from the beginning.
Oh, no problem. That was awesome.
And we were honored to host you, and your energy actually was seen throughout the entire room, starting with the keynote and continuing with the session you have delivered here. So once
Oh,
again,
well, thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you very much for joining us. And yes, JavaOne has been pretty much just a very much a success here. It's still going on. I just came to my room for 30 minutes to
Oh, well
relax a
deserved
bit.
rest. And I wouldn't even, you didn't even get to rest because I'm bothering you now. I'm so sorry.
No,
Um,
it's fine. You're not bothering me at all. I just enjoy. I'm in a very good mood. I've been in a very good mood the entire week because I got to connect with you, with other luminaries from our Java community, with my colleagues that I almost never get to see on the other side of the world,
right.
and I had so many conversations, and I've learned so much from those conversations
Yeah.
and so much from talking with attendees. So overall, I'm energized from just learning.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much. This is my favorite. Like these last two Java ones, I I don't know how to say it. Like in terms of I put in some hours and I get out some knowledge. I think this has been the best Java one I've gotten because all the previously the Java one before the Dev one or whatever it was called, they had like there's like Java one and then they rebranded for a few years and then there was a pandemic and then no Java one and then there was one in Vegas and anyway, there's been two now at the Redwood Shores. Maybe it's three, but this is I think the second
two,
one.
two,
Two,
and
yeah. And this was like it's all good stuff. Like the big ones, when Java 1 was like 2018, 2017, whatever, 2016, it was huge. And I don't care about half the stuff there, right? Like I didn't care about how to write Java ME programs, I didn't care about, I certainly didn't care about CDI or whatever. So like, all I wanted was core Java, right? Like I wanted to learn about Java. I wanted to go to Java 1, not Java
well,
ME1 or Java FX1 or whatever. And so you have to run around. It used to be you had to run around from hotel to hotel trying to get your next talk, and it was just you're constantly tired and late and sweaty and not great. This
I
was everybody's right there. All these wonderful people, all these core Java talks. Uh,
to
so
your
good.
point, I think that back in the day, maybe there were not that many events all over the world to have access to all these technologies. So having a big
Right,
umbrella event hosting all the technologies that Java itself was actively involved, because there were
right,
multiple options and multiple ways that things could go. So I
fair.
think that probably that would have been one reason for that. But nowadays we have many more events, and I think it's great that there are more events spread across the world, starting with Java user groups, continuing with conferences. And I always believe that doesn't matter the size of the conference, as long as the
Right,
people that care about the technology are there in the room, and they are able to, take the message further to their colleagues and just grow together. That's the purpose of all these events, to learn and grow together after all.
right. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this was this year. There was still a lot of like cool stuff, but I just felt like it was they they focused on the things where it was like an obvious win, just such a big deal for people to learn about the stuff. And also, there are plenty of places you can go and learn about like Spring or whatever, right? But like you did an amazing talk on JFR, Java Flight Recorder.
Yes. Yes,
That's
we had
not
a hands-on lab. So I think it's also important to do things like in many conferences to learn hands-on
Yeah.
together with the knowledgeable folks that are in a specific domain, to also listen and see demos on what has been innovated with the technology, to hear announcements of where the technology is evolving. But I think most importantly, to hear how Java continues to integrate with all the other technologies that are you see in the news, right?
Yeah.
So that has
It
been for a while.
That's why I'm saying this show is so good because I could get all this like stuff that you should know about. It's critical to your success, and yet it's not this like it's you know what I'm saying, like I don't
Yes.
know how to say it. In order for everything else to work, you need to know about this stuff, and so this is the right conference for that. Before we keep going, uh, seven almost six plus minutes into this conversation, Ana-Maria Mihal
Oh, Chano.
Chanu, yeah, Mihal
Michal Chan.
Chanu, yeah, senior developer advocate at Oracle. I didn't know it was senior. I thought it was just senior Java developer advocate,
It's
but
just a
it's just
title, doesn't it? It's
yeah.
not that important for me. It's just a title,
Well,
a job
I
title.
thought Java was in there, but it's
Yeah.
because I always see you talking about Java.
Yes, I am a Java developer advocate in the end.
Okay.
I am in the Java team at Oracle, but that's just a formal title from my point of view.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I know you as like one of the senior Java developer advocates extraordinaire at the Oracle advocacy team these days,
Thank
talking
you.
about Java. And I
Thank you.
love yeah, I mean, you are a rock star, obviously, and I've seen you everywhere in the last many years now. But nonetheless, just it's Java has grown so quickly that you know it's kind of like spring. I can't keep track of everything. I don't know if you can keep track of everything in Java, but I certainly can't.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, well, to be fair, I think like you, I am keeping track in buckets of what's going on, and
right,
depending on what is interesting to me at that moment, I'm going and studying more. And
right,
right, it's pretty much I think that technique that every developer is having for learning and acquiring more knowledge. I think as humans it's quite impossible to know all the things at the same time as great, like at the same level, I would say. But again, as great developers, we can also always relearn
right.
and
Well,
still become better. I
of
relearn every
course.
time. I relearn every time. So thanks to
Uh,
people like you and other members of our oh, thank you, Josh.
yeah, there you go. So people can, because it doesn't show it in your name
Oh,
label thing. So I want
yes,
to make sure people can
thank
Google
you.
you. Um, so you did so much. You were very, very, very busy this JavaOne. No surprise, given how
Not
prominent you are in the
intended from the
community.
beginning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kicked off the keynote. You were the host and a presenter. You were a co-host and a presenter in the keynote. So you and Liz Riza did they were
Agent.
the hostesses with the mostest, right? Do you
Yes,
remember?
our agentic AI demo. Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome. And you did and then you did a segment as well, both of you. So it
Yeah.
was like so already just from 6 in the morning on the first day, you were up and 100%, 110% out of the gate. And then you did some talks on Java Flight
Yes.
Recorder, which I want to
Yeah.
talk to you about,
Yes. Sure.
Babylon, and
Yes.
virtual thread structure concurrency.
Yes. Those are hands-on labs together with my colleagues. So I actually need to bring in the conversation my colleagues, my awesome colleagues. The 6
Yeah.
a.m. part for me and Lisa work perfectly because we are both jet lagged.
Oh, yeah.
So 6 a.m. is actually our afternoon. That's when we are awake as
Oh,
Europeans on the other side of the world.
right.
So that worked perfectly. But I would like to thank my colleagues, Billy Corando and Jose Bomar, for the support and for running together the labs, because we actually collaborate and we present in parallel. So it's not like one does more; it's
Yeah.
more a together activity in order to serve at our best the people that are in the room that are interested to learn more. And
Well,
thus they leave the room with the right concepts and with probably the right way to tackle working with a tool, working with structured concurrency, and to better know how to use the technology in their own projects at work.
nice. Well, can we talk about some of those things that you talked about? Because I have questions.
Okay,
A little
so
bit. Just I mean, we've only got a few minutes, right? We've only got like, this thing is like usually no more than 30 minutes or so. The
okay,
commute time is getting shorter, so.
okay. So let's start with the first talk that happened after the keynote in on Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh, God,
So
that's like a year ago.
oh yes, it feels like I've been living this week like 3 times already. So that was a talk together with my colleague Lisa Rice again, and we are pretty much in love with Project Babylon, with code
What is
reflection.
Babylon?
So Project Babylon is aiming to extend the Java's reach to other programming models that exist. In probably you've read some of the Paul Sandoz's articles that when he kicked off the project. So I think initially he was targeting SQL, or he was thinking of SQL, but then we just saw that there's more interest in machine learning and all this cool stuff that you can do with AI. So we are looking into expanding to other programming models.
Wow.
So hence we did the demos with the Onyx runtime and the Onyx programming model, because Onyx has a programming model itself. It's pretty
Right.
much like even PyTorch. So PyTorch, the universe of Python, has its own programming model. So ideally, this project will provide the APIs,
Yeah.
but also a great annotation to do translation from our Java expression, our language, to other parts. I see it as a translator. Like I think of translating, I know, from Romanian, because that's
Yeah.
my mother tongue,
Right.
to English, for example. So it's a way to reach out to those parts that you felt that were, I don't know, farther away, or that require a lot of extra hoops to get to before actually communicating with. And that's, I think, a great power of
Yeah.
at the moment of the Java compiler. So I think the most powerful portion of Babylon at the moment, and that was seen in our talk as well, was the at reflect annotation that allows you the compiler to see on which method or lambda at compile time it should generate a Java code model. So the Java code models is actually I would say the middle layer that you can play with and translate to other programming models.
So you
It's
write, my brain is small and smooth.
my yes.
So you write Java code, but you annotate it in certain places,
Mhm.
and now that code can be run not on bytecode on the JVM, but on this Onyx ONNX runtime?
Yes, but also with some other API transformers that are there, yes, that can be seen by Onyx as its own. So it's pretty
So I
it's
can get
pretty magic.
GPU.
Yes, that's the next stuff, and that's the next portion where HAT is taking place, because Onyx can
What's
act as
HAT?
heterogeneous accelerator toolkit.
Oh.
So on top of the existing Project Babylon,
Yeah.
in the Project Babylon repo at the moment, there is another small project that you can think of it as a library or framework that is targeting using Babylon, but also Panama and class file API. That's what is inside it, to provide us a better way to interact with the GPU. So that as the Java developers write nice Java code, not to learn OpenCL necessarily or CUDA, but have our own way of writing just nice Java code, express that in Java, and send it to the GPU. And it's all these are ongoing projects and experiments. So if people are looking at the Project Babylon's repo, you're probably going to see that there's a lot of TRs and things changing, and documentation a bit changing. But we're pretty excited with the results that we've seen so far. You can try the examples that you have there. So yeah, I think
that talk recorded?
The HAT. So about HAT, there were several talks here at JavaOne. So my colleagues Juan Fumero and Ruby Chen, they touched on HAT and its programming model, and how it works and so on. So yes, they are recorded. And before anybody in the audience asks, we are aiming to publish these in due time. I know that a lot of people want to see the sessions and all that.
Oh yeah.
But we are taking our time to creating a great experience through videos so that you can get the best of it. So everything I think was recorded. I hope nothing was missed. And the audience can also benefit of those sessions. I think that's an amazing progress that has been there, and my colleagues definitely did a better job of explaining HAT and its progress and where it's going in the future. But it's exciting time, as you say, it's exciting time to be a Java developer.
Yeah, the most amazing time ever. I mean, and I say that with no exaggeration or hyperbole, because it seems like my skills in Java buy me more opportunities today than they did, for like almost a decade between 2005 and 2014 when Java 8 came out, right? Like there was almost my skills just bought me one little thing there, but now they're my goodness, I can take my skills anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't wait to learn more about that. I put the link to Project Babylon, and I hope to see your talk and those of your colleagues as well.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have one more thing to mention. So my talk and Lisa's were mostly introductory or beginner-like talk. The other one's a little bit more advanced. So if you like have a preference for watching, I would recommend ours first
Start with yours.
and then the other, so that you don't feel like, oh, we're throwing in all these concepts. That's how we actually discussed internally to like settle down the expectations with the audience. And I want to mention also the third talk on Project Babylon, which involves generative AI exploration, that was done by my colleague Adam Sotona. So he as well, you should really watch his talk. Is interesting what he has been able to do on the generative AI part, because my portion is mostly on our portion, me and Lisa's, is mostly on machine learning.
Right.
And his is on Gen AI, which seems to be nowadays the hype.
Yeah, it's a very popular thing. This is so cool. Okay, I didn't even I think Paul spoke about Babylon at the Java Language Summit last year, and I watched it, but I didn't even realize all these things that were possible since you explained.
We are still exploring what we can do with it. So the more that people are going to explore, the community explores with this, we are more than happy to see what people think as like what they experienced and what they tried. It doesn't have to be just us experimenting. It can be also other people, because it's Java, it's open source, that's the beauty of it.
Very, very, very cool. Okay, so now when you are building things with Babylon and with generative AI and with on the server side and on the desktop and on the CLI in Java, doing all these amazing things, I'm going to need to measure the performance of those things. And looks like you can help me understand how to do that. You gave a talk apparently on analyzing and optimizing applications with Java Flight Recorder, the venerable Java Flight Recorder, which has been in the JDK for a long time now, right? Like,
yes, has been in the JDK, but the story of it has been open sourced a little later than the other tools. So yes, the Java Flight Recorder is like a hidden gem of the JDK, and we don't have to think about fancy use cases that our application has to do in order to benefit of it. I find it mostly useful on the fact that, well, its default profiles that is coming as a tool within the JDK are designed to make the tool always on. So it's something that with a default profile, you can have profiling your application always on. But the idea is like, okay, you don't want to profile all the time, which makes total sense. It's like an application has trouble all the time.
right.
I think it's also useful to know when to start a recording, when to stop, how to analyze a recording. If, I don't know, it happened that you are having sensitive data in your recording, what to do about it so that you don't end up storing that and like transmitting that further. So all these things, but also how to integrate this with your application and with other tools. So for example, for Prometheus, because it's okay to correlate what the Java Flight Recorder is getting views and information when it's profiling your application. Like, okay, these events happen in the JVM. And and correlate that with other metrics that you can have with micrometers. So for example, in case of Spring Boot applications, you can add
Right.
a micrometer dependency, and also Prometheus one, because we're talking Prometheus, and you just stream your application metrics, but you can create your own metrics based on the GFR events that you're capturing as well. So that's really good to correlate what the profiler can see, and stream that and have that all together in Prometheus queries further. So
Okay.
that was pretty much our
So cool.
talk on like
That's
really.
awesome.
Also, we have open sourced that repo as well. So if you need it, I can ping it to you.
Please. Yeah, yeah. If you have it right now, or
I need
send
to
me
say,
offline. No problem.
yes, sorry.
Um, that's really
We're,
cool. Do you say the same question? Was that talk recorded? Because that'll be very
no,
interesting for
it's
people.
not recorded because it's a hands-on lab. So hands-on labs are not recorded, but
All
as I
right.
said, the repo, because it's open source, we have pretty much done a lot of readmes and explanations, and hopefully those are enough for people to go through them
Right.
without problems. The only difference is that when you're in the room with the trainers, it's easier to ask questions. It's easier to explore and say your own use cases or your own thoughts and ideas. Like, hey, I thought about using this with this. Do you think is a good idea?
Yeah.
So it's a different
Oh,
experience when you're in the room and get the explanation on the spot. Yeah,
I
the
couldn't agree
hands-on.
more. Did you do that out in the lunch area?
No, the
No.
hands-on labs happened in another building because the main conference building was mostly for the talks.
Yeah.
We have more talks in parallel compared to last year,
Yeah.
so
It's
we had
amazing this
to.
year.
Yes, but I think it's a great thing, like to have a lot of options to go to. Either go hands-on and alternate, go hands-on or go to a talk. And we have run multiple times the hands-on labs, so in case somebody couldn't get to one of those, they don't feel like they missed it. They can take
Right.
it again. So it's
I
all.
did. I did a talk with James Ward, but they had us out by the lunch area.
Oh,
It was a hack session, so people were
nice.
encouraged to ask questions and interact and all that, which is great. A really nice format, really nice experience, and it was outside, which normally there's a tent, there's a cover, of course. You're not like in the open elements, but it's 80 degrees, 26 or so Celsius, right? It's very hot for San Francisco. Never ever. The Bay Area doesn't normally get this hot. Certainly not in the middle of March, of all the, I mean, and so it was really, really, people were sweating. I certainly was. I had to sit down. I was like, oh, that's hot. Like I was typing and then wiping my brow, dabbing my hands, typing, wiping my brow, dabbing my hand, typing.
Yeah, well, what can I say? Last year the weather was not that great as this year. So we
No.
had the extremes. Last year was like kind of sad.
Yeah.
This year was too happy. We
It's too
cannot be.
perfect.
Yeah, personally, I love the weather here. It's
Right.
great. For me, it's not too hot. It's amazingly.
Yeah, yeah, it is amazing. It is. If you're walking around, it feels great. Like you can see out my window. It's
Yes.
just believe us, folks. It's really, really nice. I have the window cracked. You can see the vent down. You can't see it. It's back there, but the vent over here is open,
Hmm.
cracked. So I have a little bit of air coming in. Don't have the air conditioning running. It's perfect. This was an amazing, amazing, amazing show. Um, what was your favorite event? What was the thing you learned that people should know about? Like,
I want to recommend a session that particularly like stayed to my heart,
okay.
and it's a session, of course, done by Brian Getz. Surprising, right?
Oh
That
yeah,
I
he's
like
great.
that session. So it was the closing session of the yesterday, and I think that is inspiring for all the professionals, regardless if you're a developer or architect. It is grounding you to understand like what are the challenges that you have as a professional, to understand that you're not alone if you have those thoughts of like, oh my
Really?
God, I'm thinking about 1,000 things. And I need to
He
solve
did
them.
this.
I mean, it's a very. I mean, that was my interpretation based on what I watched. It was a very insightful session. It
Oh, he's
resonated.
brilliant.
Yes, of course, we know that it resonated very well with me, with the audience in the room, and it felt like okay. Sometimes not all ideas get to be implemented, but it's still a lesson learned for you, that you thought about that, you thought about trying that, and
Yeah.
then you got to the next point. So we always need to think about not Java's evolution, but also our own project's evolutions as not a one thing, and that if
Right.
an idea was not successful in all the aspects, the important thing is that you can extend from that. You have a lesson learned, and yet you can extend and evolve from that. So it's a job never done. Like I say about performance,
Wow.
performance is never done. I think evolution of applications is never done, because we as humans have more and more needs. And now there's
Right.
another entity that has some needs as well.
Right.
so
Well, that's
uh,
amazing though.
so I believe that it was very inspiring. There's a lot of, I would say, gems for professionals in that talk, and would
Oh yeah.
definitely recommend. I mean, probably already the audience knows that Brian Getz's talk are amazing. We don't need to advertise it, but that
Right.
I would say that at the end of a day where you're going to a lot of sessions, you hear a lot about technologies and how to use this many great things, and you can use it in Java, and you can connect so many great stuff. At the end of the day, you also need to breathe a little bit and
Right.
just let your brain dream. And I
Right.
think that's a session about looking into lessons learned, but also looking into dreaming more. The idea is like we should continue to dream, to
Right.
dream solutions, but also dream that, well, if we have issues or problems, it's not a dead end. We're always going to come up with something that
Right.
can, brighten the day and solve the situation. I think it's a healthy mindset from my point of view. And
Yeah.
it was an amazing session. It really resonated really well for me. It was like, okay, perfect for the end of a conference day.
Yep.
So yeah, and today we're gonna have, which I'm also gonna rush to, ask the architects, where the people in the audience can ask questions to the Java architects. So
Right.
that's amazing about conferences. You get to meet all these knowledgeable people, and they're approachable, and you can either have a conversation on the hallway, or
Right.
you can ask questions in the room. So it's up to you, and nobody's like, oh my god, I don't have time for you. We all want to talk to everybody, because we are learning as well from the experiences of others. I mean, I am learning as well. I got reminded something yesterday about a Maven plugin,
Right.
thanks to an attendee. So it's not
Right.
something bad or so on, but it's just that there are things that you forget, as I said in the beginning, and it's good to be reminded.
Right. Well, I mean, so that's the Java language architect Brian Getz.
Yes.
Uh, that's all that. I can't wait to see that. Was that recorded, I hope?
Yes, yes, of course,
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
recorded.
And he did one. My favorite talk last year was growing the Java language, which he
Yes.
also gave. Oh, if you want to feel like pumped up about the Java language and its prospects in the future, the near and longer term future, watch that video. Oh, it was perfect, just perfect. Um,
Yes.
well, that's great. And of course, if he's delivering that insight, I'm sure it was very well delivered and very
Yes.
touching. So I can't wait to listen to it and hear from
Yes.
him. Um, my friend, I know you got a. I know it's the last day, and you're well, you're a celebrity everywhere, but especially at the big Java show at your company. So I don't want to keep you. Uh,
I'm not a celebrity, Josh. I'm
yes, you
another
are. Nope.
developer.
I mean, you're my celebrity. I look up to you a
Thank
lot,
you.
and
I'm honored.
we got one question here that I think is kind of interesting. I don't read. Let me see. Let me ask. Hold on. I asked the AI to translate it,
Oh,
um, and it's Hindi, written in
okay.
Roman script. And the question says, "Ma'am, I'm a BTech CSE core branch student. For the past 1 year, I've been thinking about whether I should do Python DSA. How will it be for my future? Please reply, ma'am."
Oh,
So I don't know.
that kind of question. I think that because you're in a podcast that is talking about Java, kind of says that your heart is pretty much looking into something else.
Right.
Um, usually don't give advice to people what to follow in their life. I don't like to dictate on others, like, hey, do this because it's going to be great, because I haven't figured out my entire life for myself. How can I do it for other people's? So I would say to learn what makes you happy, what you feel that it will make you successful. You can I think it's best to evaluate that on your own, and not
Right.
to just listen what, I don't know, 1 to 10 people say. I've been in that situation when I was in university. I was like, what am I going to do now? And I didn't start it with Java as a developer, and I felt like I wanted to be doing that, and I ended up doing this, but I also like this job. So what I want to say is, like, as long as you like what you're doing,
Yeah.
much doesn't matter the language. It matters to like what you're doing and you have the mindset of growing and feeling comfortable with what you want to do. It's an interconnected world, and Java is interconnected even with Python. So
Right.
it's not a one stop with one language, I would say, as an engineer. It's
Right.
about the thinking that is important, and having the right knowledge about how to think about solving problems and creating systems and more. It's not about the constraint of the language.
Right. I agree. Okay. That's a very reasonable, perfectly well thought out, perfectly put response to a good question. So I think on that note, my friend, let's wrap up. I know you are out there, but if people are you on the internet? Do people if sorry, are you on the internet? Do you want to be found? And if so, where can people find you?
Yes, I'm on the internet. The thing that is in my parentheses on my name on the live stream, not sure if it's visible, is my handle on X, on Blue Sky, and Mastodon. Also, my very long last name makes me easier to find.
It's very easy to spell, very hard for me to understand how to pronounce because I am
Uh,
stupid. So
no, you're not
I will
stupid, Josh.
try.
Josh, let me tell you, people that speak my mother tongue have trouble spelling it. So
Really? Oh no.
it's a very long last name. And it's
Oh,
always been challenging. That's why I'm telling people, call me Ana, call me Ana-Maria. I'm okay with it. I don't want to put people to the struggle of saying my last name. So don't feel bad.
well.
Don't
Uh,
feel bad about that.
okay. Well, I appreciate this so much. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
God, thank you. Thank you. See you next time. Thanks,
See
everybody.
you, Josh.
Have a great day.